And hello YouTube, this is GSmanimsmart, and I'm going to a brand new video for tutorials of GS. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to change eye color in GIMP. Now, there's several ways you can do this, and it's a really cool tutorial. I know a lot of people have been wanting to change their eye color. They don't like their eye color, maybe they want to change it and to make it look nicer, or maybe you just want to change the eye color because, on a specific picture like this, you just want to play around and get creative with things. And it's a fairly simple thing to do. However, there are some things you want to consider. When you're changing the eye color of something, be aware that the higher resolution your picture is, the better it's going to look. So what I mean by that is if you're going to change your own eye color, make sure that you're taking a picture of yourself either very close up so that the resolution of your eye is a higher resolution, because the further you are away from the camera, the less resolution your eye will have. So either be very close to the camera or take the picture with a very high resolution camera. Now this picture that I have right here is 1280 by 1024, so it's pretty good quality. However, many cameras today go far and beyond above this resolution to 2K, 3K, even 4K to quality. So if you can get that high quality, then you want to do that, because if you don't do that, the eye color is going to look really fake and it's going to be really obvious. You have to have good quality pictures to do this in order for it to look good. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and show you what you have to do. So go to open up your image and keep this as your base layer here, your main layer, background layer here. And we're going to go ahead and do one eye at a time. Now, as you can see here, this is a 1024, a 1280 by 1024 image. Pretty good resolution, but you can see it's still very pixelized here. But I would say as long as your picture is this pixelized, I think this is fine. This is the least. This is the minimum I would recommend. If you go on, if you have higher quality images that will reach like 2,000, 3,000 dimensions, it will be a lot clearer and there won't be as many pixels. But this is what happens when you have a low quality image. However, this will still work because it's not too terrible. So there's several ways you can do this. You can either use your paths tool, which is this tool right here, and you can just create a circle around the eye like this. And then you go select from path, selection from path, which is down here. And then you go into your menu up here and you want to look for your paths, and if you don't have the paths menu, like I don't have it, then you go into dockable dialogues and there's paths, and then here you can see so when you have your path done here, after this you want to go ahead and switch tools to the paint bucket tool, and you'll see we have a selection here. We're going to go ahead and use this purple here. You can use any color you want though, and we're just going to, oops, we don't want to do that. We want to create a new layer before you add any color. Make sure you have it set to transparent, don't change any dimensions, and then just go ahead and place the color over this. Now if you've messed up on your selection, you see there's some eye part over here, you can always fix it just by redoing the path. Another way to do this, however, is by using the free lasso tool, which I tend to use because it gives me a lot more control and it's a lot easier. And this allows you to just draw around the eye like so. And then it creates the selection for you. So now that we have our selection here, the next step is we're going to go into our paint bucket tool again. We're going to go create a new layer as we've done before, transparency, make sure dimensions are the same, and then we're just going to drop over right here. I'm going to do it a couple times so we really get the whole selection. And then we're going to go to select none, And then from here on, we're going to go to the mode up here, which is the layer mode. And we're going to change this to overlay. And as you can see, we start to get this purple color. Now some other things you can do is go to image, no not image, it's colors, brightness and contrast, and you can change the brightness and the contrast of this to however you'd like, however it makes it look more natural, because sometimes what will happen is that your color will be too vibrant and it won't look natural. So if you have to do that, then go ahead and do that. Change the brightness and contrast, but for me, I think it looks fine. Now if you happen to get these edges over here that are outside the eye, what you can do is you can go ahead and right click on this layer here, go to alpha to selection. Let's zoom out a bit. And what this will do, it'll basically go around your entire eye, and then you're going to go to select, shrink just by 1. And then you're going to go select, invert, and then Control X, which will cut it. And that should lower the selection. And if you have a very big image, it won't make a drastic change, but because we don't have a large image, it cut more out. If that method doesn't work for you though, what you can do is just go with your eraser tool here and get a small brush size of 2 and make sure you have the fuzzy eraser, and you can just start erasing part of the eye that's part of the white area. Just slightly like so. Just to make it look more natural. You make a mistake, like I said, Control Z is your friend. But the more time you take on this, the better it will look, because this can be tedious, and if you want it to look perfect, you will have to put some time into it. So after that, we have that, and another thing you could then do is, you see that our edges are very rough, and you could kind of see the outline. So what you can do is use your blur / sharpen tool. Make sure that you have it set on blur at the bottom here, and then you can just go over the edges here, and this will sort of blur the edges into the picture. That way it's not that noticeable. Another thing you could try to do is use the smudge tool here, and for this I would recommend using a very small brush size, like maybe 1, and you can just smudge over here to make it look a little more natural as well if you need to do that. And then when we zoom out, as you can see, we basically have our purple eye. Now you would basically do the same thing on this eye. There's no difference to it. You would just do the same thing on here, and for the most part it looks pretty good. Like if we zoom out, it looks no difference. I mean, it doesn't look like it was edited. So, and you can always, if you want to change it, this is the reason we have the new layer, is that you can always undo it and you can see a difference. But as you can see, it does look looks very cleanly done. Looks very good. Like I said, if you ever feel like that you haven't such a good job, like near the bottom here maybe. Actually, no, it's actually pretty good. Yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. You know, just take your time with it. It's honestly, most of this is, most of the success you gain from here, it really depends on how much you take your time with, because you can do it pretty sloppily. Just another quick thing that you can do, in case you wanted to know. If you wanted to mix certain colors together, for example, here's another way of doing this. What you can do is, say for example you wanted the outer color to be purple here, and then maybe you wanted the inner color here to be, I don't know, like maybe a pink. What the hell happened here? Oh, there we go. Like a pink, maybe. Now, when you do this, you want to be careful. You don't want to pick a color that's like super bright, because it'll just look really dumb. You want to keep it in the same darkness range. Let's get a little lighter pink, like that maybe. And then we're gonna go and do the same thing. Oops. Like so. And as you can see, once again, we see these edges here, and we don't want that. So here I would highly recommend using the smudge tool. And you can just smudge it out here and drag the colors out. So it looks a little more natural. Now when you're doing this, you may want to use another layer. As you can see, I use the same layer now, which you don't really want to do. And then you just do the same process. And you know, if your picture is very pixelized like this, then you can also use the clone stamp tool here and just or even the color picker tool, and just add some colors that you may need on the outside here. And then if we zoom out, it looks pretty good. Like I said, it all matters on how well and how much time you take with it. I did this middle portion pretty quickly because, you know, I wanted to just add it to the end of the video. But you want to use another layer. As you see now I don't have another layer for this, so it's part of the other layer. You want to use the other layer so that you can do all the tricks I showed you before. So just make sure you use the tools that you have. Make sure that you try using the smudge tool. Make sure you try using the clone stamp tool. Make sure you try using the blur tool. If you need to, make sure you use the shrink option here if you need to like shrink your selection or so. A lot of this really, I'd say the most difficult part to do is blending this in with the eye. You know, if you have too bright of an eye color, it'll pop out really easily and it'll look really unnatural. So I think the hardest part in this is just blending it in and making it look natural. And the key to that is really just blurring really good, smudging really good, and making sure that it does look natural. But other than that, I think it's a pretty easy thing to do. And you know, if you ever wanted to change your eye color, you could do it. And hopefully enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll definitely be making more GIMP tutorials in the future. I just need to, you know, I'm making tutorials for other programs as well. If you want to check those out for Photoshop, After Effects, I'm going to be making Premiere Pro tutorials soon. But if you're interested in that stuff, definitely check out the channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you out in any way. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It'll really help me out. If you didn't like it, you can leave a comment as well, giving some feedback. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments as well, and I'll do my best to answer them. I usually respond to comments within 24 to 48 hours, depending on your question and depending on how busy I am. I have plenty of other content on my channel about different software tutorials and how-to videos, so if you're interested in that type of stuff, check it out. And if you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe too. Really appreciate it. You can also check out my other channels and social media as shown on the screen right now. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. And this is GSmanimsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.